A message from a concerned American citizen. Here it goes. I am from Danbury, Connecticut, USA, a city which has been under the dogmatic rule of a fascist mayor for 5 terms in this city. Allow me to make this plain. This is not about choosing between the 2 parties represented in this city. It is about what is right. Mark D. Doughton is a controversial mayor who has used the immigration topic in order to polarize this city. In his watch, there have been numerous hate crimes, all covered up by the city. The police under his administration engage in random racial profiling. They formed a contract with the federal agency ICE, and 3,500 people protested this agreement loudly and vocally, shutting down much of Danbury in a snowy winter day several years ago, protesting in front of City Hall, while snipers had guns pointed at them from the rooftops. When media got notice of it, Mayor Doughton underplayed the protest, saying that it was roughly 100 protesters. Video of the protest can still be found. Mayor Doughton accepted funneled campaign donations from a well-known mafioso named Gallant. He managed to wiggle out of that one too, although it is well known and well documented. Mayor Doughton has refused public debates with many prior opposing candidates, and almost refused to debate publicly with this year's opposing candidate. The local newspaper, which usually seems to support the mayor, finally pressured him into accepting a debate, so, as a result, he lined the audience with raucous allies of his who booed the opposing candidate like small children, whenever the issue of immigration came up. Doughton hobnobs with Tea Party activists in the area, and has spoken at many an anti-immigration event, and the individuals who organize such events in Danbury do not even bother to hide their racist, divisive thoughts. It, too, is well known. The town clerk under his administration, Gene Natale, was even photographed standing beside, in solidarity with skinheads. Several years ago, several Republican members of his administration were caught exchanging racist emails. These emails were leaked to the press and made public. In response, Mayor Doughton refused to discipline or fire the guilty parties. 2 of them were voted out of office, but came back later, as key members of the Republican campaign committee serving on his re-election staff. Mayor Doughton stifles any debate on his tactics or behavior. He refuses to be interviewed in any local access television shows, unless he is given a pre-written list of questions before the show, so that he may hand-select the ones he will answer. If anyone puts a critical comment in his public mayoral Facebook page, he blocks them from using said page. He is racist and homophobic. His former chief of staff, now serving at state level, Michael McLachlan, tried to institute anti-gay legislation in the state. A recent report was made by a former member of his staff who came out as gay while in office, that he suffered prejudice and workplace discrimination as a result of his sexuality. Mayor Doughton has instituted a parade ordinance banning groups of 25 or more people from organizing in any public space without a permit from the city. The permit requirements are insurance, porta potties, etc. He instituted this policy at the request of anti-immigrant groups in Danbury who were angry about spontaneous celebrations, a civil right, during the World Cup tournament. Mayor Doughton also instituted a volleyball ordinance that limited outdoor repetitive sports games. Mayor Doughton collaborated with local police and ICE to disappear 11 laborers from the park, 2 points in El Paso in an arrest, cut first / ask questions later operation known as the Danbury 11 case. He was deposed and sued. The city settled the case. He and the city were also sued by several firefighters who brought charges against him of favoritism and nepotism. He tried to shut down a homeless shelter. He defended the local Hispanic Center, and tried to deafen an area interfaith organization, because they spoke out about his anti-Latino stance. All of this information is well documented, and can be found in FairfieldWeekly.com, New Haven Independent, Hartford Courant, New York Times. But the most exhaustive record of his dealings can be found at worldwideweb.getcityblog.com. The editor of this blog, Al Robinson, is easily contactable. I have lists and lists of people from many walks of life who would speak out against him. I need anonymous help. So far, as crooked as this man is, all efforts to get him booted out of office, to have him lose a suit without settling, to have him arrested, etc., have failed. We need someone who can access the files and information that would prove his cult, his shady dealings, without a doubt, so that people would no longer be able to dismiss the evidence against him. We also need someone who can publicize this man's abuses of power. And we need it soon. For the record, I know a Republican mayor in a nearby town, and even made phone calls on her behalf during her campaign. Patricia Murphy. I am good friends with her daughter, and I have no problem with how she runs her city. I am not doing this because I am an advocate of the Democratic Party. I am doing it because Mayor Dobbins should no longer sit in our city hall terrorizing its people into silence. I don't know how to find Anonymous and CT. I don't know how to get them involved in this, but it is desperately needed. The man is an absolute fascist. If we were to have an Occupy movement here, I shudder to think what would happen. Please help.